Hello and welcome. So happy to have you here. I'm Alyssa Lansdale. We want you to elevate your approach to business with Canadian business leaders through the Canada Business Talk series in association with our exclusive banking partner, RBC, our shipping partner, UPS, and our exclusive email partner, Constant Contact, our hospitality partner, IHG Business Edge, and Google Canada, our tech partner. Hello, official welcome to everybody. It's so good to see you all again virtually. I'm Alyssa Lansdale, your media host for Canadian SME Business Magazine. Now, little background on me. I founded Rockstar Communications in 2020 as a way to unite my distinct passions and strengths in the leadership communication space, as well as the media space. Since 2011, I've had the privilege and pleasure of helping hundreds, if not thousands, I think, of leaders across the globe influence their teams and stakeholders with authenticity and impact. Now, I would first like to start by acknowledging the land on which we gather and on which the region of Peel operates is part of the treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit. For thousands of years, Indigenous peoples have inhabited and cared for this land and continue to do so today. In particular, I'd like to acknowledge the territory of the Anishinaabe, the Huron-Wendat, the Haudenosaunee, and Ojibwe peoples, the land that is home to the Métis, and most recently, the territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, who are direct descendants of the Mississaugas of the Credit. We're grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land, and by doing so, give our respect to its first inhabitants. Now, our mission at Canadian SME is to provide essential resources, tools, facts, and data to anyone aspiring to start a business in Canada. We are dedicated to advancing small-scale entrepreneurs, contributing not only to the Canadian economy, but also our global reputation. Our magazine recognizes and celebrates the hard work of entrepreneurs and helps them gain the recognition they deserve. And doesn't everybody want a little more recognition? And in addition, our events like the SME Awards, the Small Business Show, and the Small Business Summit provide a unique platform for small business owners to share their success stories and inspire others. Now, 2 years ago marked a significant milestone for us with the launch of Indigenous SME Business Magazine. The publication is a testament to our commitment to celebrating the unique histories and contributions of our Indigenous communities. Together with Canadian SME and Indigenous SME Business Magazine, we continue to empower and uplift our diverse small business community. I'd like to welcome everyone who is just joining to Canada Business Talks, where we are committed to fostering growth and success in the business world. In collaboration with esteemed partners like RBC, UPS, Constant Contact, IHG Business Edge, and Google, we bring you insights from top Canadian business leaders to elevate your ventures. Our esteemed guest today, you're going to love her, Anna Sinclair, is a trailblazing CEO, award-winning entrepreneur, also an angel investor specializing in sponsorships, strategic partnerships, community building, event production, digital content creation, and balancing life as a supermom, you would have to be supermom, of 3. Anna recognized a gap in support systems for working women. There was quite a gap. She responded by founding Total Mom Inc., the Canadian Women Entrepreneur Industry Gala, and Sinclair Creative Agency, a firm that consults founders and brands to bring their visions to life. Her work across these ventures has earned her numerous accolades, including being named, get this, one of WXN's top 100 most powerful women in Canada. She's a top 40 under 40 honoree, and she has been featured in Forbes. Anna has led partnerships with over 350 top-tier brands, creating impactful initiatives that reach millions. As a 2-time immigrant and refugee success story, Anna aims to support, connect, fund, and represent diverse women entrepreneurs globally. So join us as we delve into an insightful conversation with Anna Sinclair and explore the pathways to success in entrepreneurship. She may have a thing or two to share with you. Together, let's embark on a journey of transformation and growth, shaping a more diverse and prosperous business landscape for everyone. I want to again thank our sponsors, our banking sponsor, RBC, our shipping sponsor, UPS, our exclusive email sponsor, Constant Contact, our hospitality partner, IHG Business Edge, and our tech partner, Google. Now, if you're a small business owner in Canada, you can apply to be featured as the UPS Small Business of the Day. Every day, Canadian SME Small Business Magazine, in support or with support of UPS, our exclusive shipping partner, features a different small business on our social media channels. As the UPS Small Business of the Day, you'll receive free promotion on Canadian SME social media channels. You can apply now by visiting CanadianSME.ca. Now let's take a break and see what's in store for you by our exclusive sponsors.
You dreamt big. You made the leap. You and your "we're not stopping at small" business. Doesn't matter you've never done it before. You unlock those problems. You adapt to change. You learn to evolve. You're pioneers in challenging times, finding your own frontiers. Wherever you e-commerce, UPS is with you, so nothing is going to hold you back.
4 billion people check their email every day. That's 4 billion missed opportunities if your message doesn't make it. To reach your customer's inbox, you need a winning strategy. And Constant Contact delivers. Literally, over 97% deliverability. Elevate your email game with easy-to-use templates, writing assistants powered by AI, and in-depth metrics. Ensuring your email is flawless, delivered, and read. Constant Contact delivers. Give it a try.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, we're in the business of you.
We're here to help you plug in,
connect, and recharge.
make an impression,
and meet with confidence.
With 19 brands built for business,
your business gets even more rewarding.
With an award-winning loyalty program at 6,000 IHG hotels and resorts worldwide.
All right, welcome back. It's time to introduce today's guest, Anna Sinclair. Now, from humble beginnings as a two-time immigrant and refugee success story, Anna embarked on her entrepreneurial journey by starting a small business in her basement. We love these stories. Now, she is CEO of an award-winning company that collaborates with major brands throughout North America, a testament to her dedication and drive. Now, her professional community network and online e-learning platform focus on increasing social and financial capital through a profitable and sustainable business model. She's helping women learn how to become successful entrepreneurs. Her dedication to women over the last 5 years has actually earned her recognition of one of WXN's top 100 most powerful women in Canada and established her as a Canadian business leader and influencer. Now, she founded the Canadian Women Entrepreneur Industry Gala, which brings together leading companies, top C-suites, founders, entrepreneurs, creators, and media to open doors of opportunity for women. It's an amazing idea. And her visionary approach unites the industry, and her disruptive mindset has just revolutionized the gala experience. And through all of this, Anna is dedicating herself to ensuring more women get a seat at the table. Her experience working with over 350 plus brands gives her the knowledge and experience to touch any aspect of a project from top to bottom. Anna consults through her firm, Sinclair Creative Agency, Inc., advising individuals and consumer lifestyle brands on branding, on business strategy, content marketing, and asset development. Anna Sinclair, so happy to have you. How are you?
I am good. I'm in the CIBC building in Toronto. And if you hear loud noises, it's because I'm jumping straight out of a partnership call, straight into this thing. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. And as if to illustrate everything I just said, you're probably, everybody at home is like, how is she doing all of this? She multitasks.
We're just getting it done. We're just getting it done.
Wherever, whenever.
Just do it.
Just do it. That would be a great slogan, if not for,
If it wasn't taken.
It's a little taken. So if someone pops in, we'll know exactly why, because you're at CIBC. So your journey obviously is just incredibly inspiring. I'm surprised we have time for the interview with all the time it took for me to share everything you have accomplished.
Oh, of course. Oh my God. Sitting down with you, you're so inspiring. So I'm excited to chat it through. We both are powerhouse women. So let's
I'll take that. Yes, thank you. I love to stand in my power, and I love that you are encouraging other women to do it. I mean, you have your story is amazing for anyone who doesn't know it. You're a two-time immigrant and refugee. You've gone all the way to becoming this, as I said, trailblazing entrepreneur. What moments stand out? I mean, if we're looking at the timeline of your life, what are the big blips that stand out? Not blip, that's not the right word, but what are the big points, turning points perhaps that stand out to you as momentous occasions that kind of helped shape where you are now?
You know, it's funny that you said that because my husband and I were having such a fascinating conversation on our drive into Toronto today. It was like a 2.5, 3 hour drive. And we were breaking down life and childhood and just looking at each other's lives and talking about what we feel like we learned from those experiences. And, my story is very unique. I lived in war-torn countries. My upbringing was, hiding from bombs, like all of those things. That safety was such a huge issue. And I learned very quickly that, I had to take care of myself and I had to figure out the things that I wanted, like a future, safety, life, business, career, whatever. Like those were a common theme. And so when I got to Canada and I kind of planted my feet on the ground and I said, okay, I got to make a career. I just had so much to say. I wanted my voice to be seen and heard because things were so sheltered and so hidden for so long. And so when I got into the music business, I feel like that was a pivotal moment for me. It was like I finally got to use my voice and, I signed this record deal. I got to perform, to touch, move, and inspire young girls to self-express themselves. And when I lost that record deal because I was pregnant, it really was the downfall, but silver lining, because essentially, if you're watching this and you don't know, I was a pop star for like 5 years and I was on 30,000 people's stages and got considered for a Juno and all these amazing things. And then I lost a label because I was pregnant and they didn't want to sign a pregnant pop artist.
Yeah.
And my husband was like, first, he was like, that's crazy. We don't live in that world anymore, thank God.
Yes.
But secondly, he said, you know what? Why don't we go to a baby show? Let's do the motherhood thing. And it was at that baby show where I realized that working women in today's modern day and age need stronger support systems personally and professionally. And that's how I started Total Mom. Yeah.
This is amazing. So, what I'm hearing from you, and it's not a surprise because this has been my experience too, that you have achieved what you have, not in spite of these
Yeah.
hardships, but because of them. It's almost like each one lay a foundation for the next one.
Yeah. And I think what I've come to terms with is that I look at everything that's ever happened in my life. And if you notice, I didn't say happened to me. I said happened
Yes.
in my life.
Love it.
And
Yeah.
that moment was really just like leaving the perspective of a victim and like leaving the perspective of like this happened to me. And really stepping into the power of this happens for me. And I feel like we're all as humans going to have challenges and barriers, whether it's the color of our skin, our financial resources, our mentors, location, whatever it is that our socioeconomical situation is, we're going to all face barriers. But what do you, as a unique person with your own talent, skills, background, and diverse experiences, can you bring to the table to touch, move, and inspire the world?
Love this. And yeah, and I love to say this to my clients. Ask, what is this here to teach me? Right? What
Yeah.
is this here to teach me? And it challenges
Mhm.
you. And we may be a victim, but we don't have to adopt that victim mindset, which I just
Yeah.
absolutely love.
And
Yeah.
every founder and entrepreneur, I think, needs the constant failures and barriers to keep shifting and growing and developing and solving solutions. So you kind of
Yes.
almost need to be welcoming failure as an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. You're
Mhm.
right. Because if you're not failing, you're not progressing, right? You're not growing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we know now what inspired you to create Total Momming. How does it address the gaps that you have identified that working women have?
That's a really good question. I think when I first started the company, we realized that there were women who were starting side hustles, and they were starting side hustles because there was this gray area of like, okay, I'm having a child now. Am I staying in corporate? Am I starting at my own thing? And we saw them dive deep into this world of side hustles. And the side hustles were inadvertently turning into actual companies. And some so much so that they're like all over Canada and blown up and have now gone on to like true success as a company in the millions, right? And so we look at our audience and we said, okay, who are you? What do you need? And so when we launched Canada's Total Mom Pitch, we also simultaneously launched Canada's first research and report on the state of entrepreneurship and motherhood. And it's this intersection that we ended up learning that these are these gaps and these barriers that exist, but we wanted to hear directly from these moms. And so what we're learning is, yes, women are underfunded, but I think the problem is the lack of financial literacy that came before that led them to that place of not knowing about their credit score, not knowing how that's going to affect them to be able to access these resources. And then also lack of social connection, right? And so being super connected and brought into the right rooms is something that women still in Canada feel is an issue. We're all on this fight together, but there's still so much gatekeeping going on. And so we're hearing that from these women and we're like, this is horrible. Like, how do we bring them together? So the gaps are funding and connectivity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And do you find that, I mean, I guess over the last 4 years, that connectivity has been an issue too. Well, at the same time, the whole paradigm of entrepreneurship has shifted as well. So can you describe that kind of, I don't know if you'd say it's a perfect storm. How would you characterize it?
I mean, perfect storm is definitely my middle name, but
Great.
I think, the paradigm has shifted. I think, for a few years we were detached socially, in person and everything, but then everyone had to become like an overnight marketing guru. And that's a lot. That is a lot on our small businesses, and it's a lot on the economy, and it's a shift in paradigm, and it's a shift in the way that we run and grow our businesses. That's why we see all of these CDAP programs and technology and, even now the rise of AI is because we do need new tools and systems. And those tools and systems aren't free, but they're available. And some of them are really mind blowing. Like they can change a lot of our businesses. So exciting.
It is a very exciting time.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive, as I like to say lately. I'm saying that a lot lately. Now, you talked about these gaps in connectivity for women, and I know I've worked with many and coached many women over the years who are like, I'd love to connect with people, but I'm busy with the kids, and these guys can go off and have their golf game, but I have to go home. I got a hard stop because I got to pick up the kids. You, of all people, would know about these demands. So I hate to even ask the now cliche question: how do you balance it all?
No.
How do you
I get
handle
it. I get it. I get that men get asked more like, how do you, they don't get asked like, how do you handle it with all these kids? But they should, because I feel like we are in a day and age where a lot of men are taking care of the kids and a lot of women are doing the same. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, we're in this place where economically we need to have 2 jobs and have just as much, like, if not more income than ever before. And I think when you ask me, like, how do I do it? How do I do it all? Well, I don't do it all. I'm doing all of the things that I want to do in a very strategic way. And so Total Mom Inc. is all about the personal professional supports. And what I ended up realizing early days was that the village that you need to grow, it's not just like a warm and fuzzy statement where we need a village, it takes a village. Like, it's real. Like, you look at your village and you're like, okay, you have to like become a COO. You have to literally go, okay, I'm going to run this operation. Who is this person? Who's doing this person? Who's doing this and that? So you build this infrastructure and you become the CEO of your life and business. And it really is natural to me because I am the CEO. So I realized, like, if I just morph my family and my work into work life, then everybody involved needs a role. And so when I started giving everybody roles, I started freeing up my time and essentially being able to scale the company to 400%. And so when we were always wondering about hitting that first $1 million, it was like, it's not happening, but we're doing so much. And I realized we were doing way too much. And we weren't thinking about the processes and systems and how to outsource effectively. So the real true answer is I started small, little increments of 25% of my revenue went to a part-time support person, a babysitter. And then now it's a full-fledged person that's with us 24/7. And why? Because I'm constantly traveling and speaking on stages and flying and doing these things. I can't do that and nurse my baby alone. Right? Like, someone has to grab the baby when I'm about to jump on the stage. So we've created a system and a process for that.
I just love this. Like, it seems it's one of those things. I have these moments in life where I'm like, that makes so much sense. It's so logical. How come I never thought of it before? But bringing the
Yeah,
whole business mindset
yeah.
into your parenting and your family life just makes so much sense. Be the chief operational officer.
And let's be sensitive to the fact that, like, not everybody has the privilege of having a full-time nanny.
Right.
But I will be the first person to tell you I didn't either.
You didn't.
And I think you just realize that when you do, and that's why I said the little by little, when you get that first 25% of your time back, you're actually making more revenue. And the more revenue you make, the more you can afford that. But if you don't take the step, you'll never be able to afford the nanny. But if you're working smarter and not harder, and you are doing the things that, is that you do best, that delegation piece will allow you to have more income to then have more support systems around you.
I love this. And I love especially that it addresses a mindset issue or a limiting belief that I find a lot of women have, which is I have to do it all myself. If I'm going to do it right, I have to do it myself. And
I
you
mean,
are
yeah,
all about the
it's a
delegation.
pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pressure we all have. And I think, like, the modern day woman is expected to do everything herself, and like we need to shift back to the days where we see, those cultural beautiful things where villages were helping each other. And it's like, why do we have to take so much on and do it ourselves when it's humanly impossible, and our mental health and our physical and spiritual body is affected by be the someone today said to me, they were like, oh, the something about the heavier crown, the crown, or the heaviest thing. Like, do you know that's saying about, like,
I haven't
the
heard of it, but I'm
something? It
liking
was
it.
like something about, like, the queen wears the heavy crown or something, pretty much telling me that, like, you're taking the risk of everything in your life and your business, whether it's
Yeah.
less time with your kids or this or that. You've got the heavy crown weighing you down. And it doesn't need to be like that. And I'm here to say, like, there is a way out. And I think that that's just sitting down and mind mapping and brain dumping. What are all the things you're doing? What are the things you don't like to do anymore? What do you like to do? And then outsourcing so that we can move forward, living a happy life that we love, full of joy and connection.
Which involves having the vision of what you ultimately want, right? And so I imagine vision played. Actually, how? This is an interesting question, I think. Look at me, patting myself on the back. Great question, Alyssa. How close does your current life look to, how similar is it to the vision that you had all those years ago?
Oh man, I did not foresee this life. It was so funny because, as you heard earlier, like, when I had my first baby, it's not like it was a planned thing. Like, it just happened. It's like, surprise. And then it's like, okay, entertainment career gone. And then when I had my second, it was like, okay, I've been here. I've done that. I'm going to get back into the saddle real quick and I'm going to figure it out. Now I have my third, Alaska, and she's 8 months. And now I'm like, nope, like, I already have the plan, the system, nothing's stopping me. 5 days postpartum. I still embarrassed saying this, but I was, like, on the DMZ stage doing Women of the Year. And I think that was a choice that I did because I felt so comfortable and I was so well nurtured and taken care of. Like, I had my soup, my water, I was sleeping, I was healing. Like, this is something that we can achieve, but we don't need to force ourselves. If it's your calling to take some time off, take it. If it's your calling to do it all, take it. But at the end of the day, everybody's vision and version of their best life is so personal to them. And, I had a conversation with a girl off LinkedIn the other day about, really tapping in and saying, like, am I happy right now? Like, is this sucking me dry? Am I working too hard? Right. And so I think it's just a matter of, like, tuning in and saying, this works or this doesn't work. You can always reinvent yourself. You can always reinvent yourself.
That is such great advice. You can always reinvent yourself. And I know some people are, well, this is why the entrepreneurial journey exists, right? But and if you're stuck in a 9 to 5, maybe you aren't stuck, right? So it is about, I guess, questioning all the things that you thought
you're
you
never
could
stuck.
do. You're
You
never
always
stuck.
have a choice.
Yes, absolutely.
It's
And
scary and it's hard, but you have
it
the
is
choice.
scary. Yeah. Yeah. The crown, the heavy crown,
The
right?
heavy
That's what it
crown.
is.
Yeah.
It's funny. You're reminding me, I think 10 days postpartum, I was interviewing Keith Urban in my Spanx and in
You
my,
were?
yeah. And it was,
Yes.
I had I was very blessed too, where I could just go in and do an interview and come home to my baby. That was the first
That's
time I
right.
ever left my baby with anybody. And it was gladly I did with a trusted friend,
Yeah.
and did it and came back and thought
We
this
need
is
to talk about that
amazing.
offline after this
Yeah.
this talk is like,
Oh, I
That's
was just
hot.
thinking
I love it.
we have so many conversations we have to have. This could go on forever, but we only have so much time for this one. So I'll move on to the next question, which is about your partnerships, because again,
Yeah,
women have issues with connectivity. As you said, this is one of the gaps that you've identified. You have ended up leading partnerships with over 350 top tier
I
brands.
have.
That's
I have.
amazing. So what is the secret to building and maintaining these successful partnerships?
I have been I have been to so many trainings about sponsorships and sales. And I'm going to tell you right now, most of them are baloney. They're out of
Okay.
date and they're old school. And I think there's so many people doing partnerships incorrectly.
Mhm.
And I learned by getting into the major players' boardrooms and having these discussions and being myself. And I think, if you step into a partnership not already having the whole thing figured out, I mean, the number one suggestion I would make right now is if you're listening and you're doing sponsorships, please
Mhm.
do not ever go and pitch a brand with a bronze, silver, gold, diamond. Like that's already a no. Like that's
Okay.
garbage.
Mhm.
The other piece is because you're leaving money on the table. You're leaving multi-year partnerships on the table. There's
Right.
people at that company that might have other ideas or have had quarterly discussions about what their focus is. And if you don't step in there and ask them, what are your focus? What are your mandates? All that stuff. You're going to miss what's on the table. The other
Okay.
thing is it's about relationships. People want to work and pay and spend their money with people they like. So the first thing you need to do is actually understand who that person is and open up and be vulnerable and share your passion about why you're doing this and then create that space for that conversation because the ROI thing can, if you go straight to the return on investment or you go straight to like what you want from them, the tables turn. And you never want the table to be about you begging for money. You want it to be about a collaborative co creation of marketing initiatives that are going to not only bring return on investment, but are going to bring massive reach. And like some people just don't know how to do partnerships and sponsorships. So I'm launching a master class in January on the 18th and the 25th called Strategic Partnerships Masterclass. And I'll send you guys the link later. It is amazing. And I'm going to break down and unveil all the things that I've learned because it's going to take too long. I could give you guys so many things right now, but
Right.
even the process of reaching out is the first and most important piece. Most people never get a response. Most people don't know who to go to or who to speak to. And there is a secret sauce to this. And there is a proven system that I personally have weeded out. Yeah.
This is amazing. I'm already making mental note. Okay, the 18th, the 25th of January. And really
Yeah.
you said again, this is so brilliant in its simplicity. It really is. Do they like you? Have you connected with somebody before you start talking
Do you
about
know how
numbers?
many thousands of dollars I've spent on coming to my potential future sponsors events? Like
Wow.
one of my sponsors right now, and I'll leave them unnamed because it's still very hush hush. I paid $1,000 ticket to meet with a woman who's the decision maker of this brand at a gala just to bump into her in the washroom to have that moment and that one-on-one connection because
Wow.
she's going to be the one that's going to be vetting for me. And it's so hard to pitch a massive partnership to people in a cold way where like you haven't supported them. You need to go and support. You need to put your own money back into the people that you hope are going to put money into you. You got to give money to make money. And I think a lot of people are just takers. And so you got to be a giver too. And you've got to open up and understand what are their needs because what you're putting to the table might not even be what they want at all. And then you just lost this big partnership.
Yeah, and I mean, this may help people feel less of the ick factor when it comes to networking, when it comes to getting a sponsor. If we want genuine connection, women especially want that, and
Hmm.
so this
Yeah.
this checks both boxes, right?
Yeah. It's a co-creation.
Yes, I love that co-creation word. That's amazing. Okay, so tell us more about this gala, the Canadian Women Entrepreneur Industry Gala. I mentioned earlier that you're kind of
Yes.
revolutionizing the idea of galas. How did this all come
Thank
about, and what does
you.
it look like that's different than other kind of galas?
So, I mean, there's so much to it, and I'll try to like bring it down to like a small description, but essentially the CWEs is the Canadian Women Entrepreneur Industry Gala. Note industry. Industry is the key player here because I felt like, yeah, we were already celebrating a lot of women entrepreneurs across the country through various programs that I love and support and go to. But what we weren't doing was bringing the industry together to highlight the voices of corporations and brands that were spending multi-millions of dollars on initiatives and programs. I mean, all of those people behind closed doors are working so hard, but who's patting them on the back? They're just getting their paycheck, right? And so that was one thing I wanted to do. The second thing is I wanted to utilize that platform in the multi-millions of reach that it has to amplify what they're doing so that we can connect the people that they're looking to serve and the people that are actually running these programs. So we were quite literally using the sponsorship dollars to sit more women at the table at no cost. So we were literally using our own sponsorship dollars, not for our own gain, but to actually help diverse women entrepreneurs get invited and be in these rooms, not just because they're being celebrated and they win and they're accomplished. It's like, there's this need for us to super connect them because I know that women in my life were the ones who helped me up by pulling me up to the stage. And so if I didn't have those opportunities, I wouldn't have ever been on a stage. So the Canadian Women Entrepreneur Industry Gala is just about connecting large scale brands that are driving impact around the world, bringing media, bringing content creators, influencers, bringing them all together and showcasing all of the impact that we are making in this world and also creating opportunities for brands to truly connect on a meaningful level.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So if anybody has any questions about how they can get involved, I'm sure we'll make sure that they get
Yeah,
the
cwegala.com. And also what you can do right now is you can go to the website and nominate a company or a brand that you believe is driving massive change. You know, whether it's you saw Shoppers Drug Mart is giving back to women in cancer, or you saw another beauty brand or someone doing something special, you can go and you can vote right now and not vote, you can nominate them. Or you can come out and meet those important people that you need to meet. Yeah.
It sounds like a win-win, and you get to
Yeah.
dress up, which is fantastic.
Oh yeah, everybody dresses up big time. It's a fashion statement.
Oh, I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
me too.
Well, it's clear that your support of diverse women entrepreneurs across the globe is just remarkable. It's outstanding. And so, what
Thank you.
advice do you have for women from underrepresented communities who are looking to succeed in business, other than attend this gala?
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot to do, and there's a lot of hubs, and there's a lot of support, and there's a lot of amazing, great resources out there. But I think the work is within. I think, you know, I can't speak for all of these diverse women entrepreneurs and their unique barriers, but what I can say is that it always stems from our own self-belief and believing that we are worth it and taking that one step at a time. Because every career takes time to develop. Every brand takes time to build and grow. And so it really is the confidence within that you need to acquire. And that takes time for personal growth and journey. And like, you need to just really live in your purpose and in your why and in your mission of your business. And just keep showing up in the community, keep showing up online, keep sharing your unique story. And don't try to be like everybody else. Don't look to the left and right and say, I've got to be like that competitor. You know, bring your unique colors and vibrant pieces of you to the table and you will stand out in your own way. It really is about that, right? As long as you're being you and you're showing up and you're doing your best, people will see that and they'll fall in love with that. And people who will fall in love with that will support you inevitably, whether it's financially or whatever. Also, of course, you know, being a part of as many groups that you can. So if you're an immigrant in Canada, look up immigrant groups, and there's so many funded programs out there. I think just being around people and communities is key for our mental health. And the journey of being a founder, you just need people to call. Don't do it alone. Don't sit behind your computer by yourself trying to tackle on the world, you know.
Such great advice. I'm so glad you brought this up about confidence. And this is what I find. You can believe in your business idea, but deep down we have these subconscious beliefs. This is what I help clients reprogram, right? Because if you don't believe in you, it's not really going to go anywhere.
Energy is everything. You are a human being, and yes, like life happens around you, but energetically, if you're stepping into a room knowing you deserve to be in that room, everything happens in your favor, and you just need to energetically vibrate in that manner because other people can feel it. And so you can almost like, not in a sense persuade, but you can just instantly tell, like make them feel like, oh, like this is exactly how it's supposed to be going. So why not show up powerfully, What's the
That's
worst that can
men.
happen? They say no. Okay, on to the
Yeah.
next. Let's
Exactly, and then
go.
there's failure, failing forward, right?
Failing
And
forward.
you, yes, you bring up also this be you, uniquely you. And I
Mm-hmm.
will say, vulnerably, I'll say that trying to start up my own business and avoiding a certain part of myself, which was my intuitive piece,
Yes.
it was a slow go, and I was
Yeah.
resisting myself. The second I went, "Oh, yeah, this is a piece of my business. This is a piece of
Mm-hmm.
who I am. This is who I am," everything started flowing. So
Yeah.
I love what you're
I
saying.
love that.
Boy, the thing that you may, and you gotta do the self-work, as you say, of, like, identifying, "Yeah, this is what makes me different, and deep down, do I believe that this makes me less than?" Let's examine that so that we can let it go and then
That's
step
why
into our power.
That's why therapy is so important for entrepreneurs and small business owners. There's
Yeah.
so much that happens every single day, and there's so much that's happened in our young life. Like we went through so much, like we carry so much into our adult life. It's like, what is happening and why am I reacting this way and why do I think this way? It can hold us back from so much success.
Yeah. It's so
And
true.
it's just us. It's us holding us back,
It is. So investing, there we go again. I'm seeing a theme, right? We got to invest.
Yeah.
We got to put a
Invest
little
in
in to
yourself.
get a little out.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. And look at, you are just a shining model of what happens when you do. You've been named one of WXN's top 100 most powerful women in Canada, a top
Oh my gosh.
40 honoree. How did that feel? Like, take us into the moment where you
I
learned about
ugly cried.
this.
When
I
I
love it.
got inducted, it was the year where I almost gave up. And I don't think I've ever shared this, but it was like mid-pandemic
Huh.
and I was going to give up on the business. I had just bought out my business partner. I retained 100% shares of the company and I was like so over it. Like I was working to the bone. I wasn't even paying myself because I was buying them out.
Yeah.
And then I get the phone call and it's my husband and he's like, Anna, I'm like, yes. I'm like, did I forget the oranges? He's like, no, like you just got inducted into the WXN top 100 most powerful women in Canada next to Stacey Madge from Visa and CN and all these big brands. And like BMO had like recognized me. It was insanity. And I ugly cried for half an hour straight because I genuinely believed that it was a validation moment for me. It was a moment in time where I was seen for everything that I'd ever put into this, the blood, sweat, and tears, it's like everything. And I remember going to the awards and like the names are going up of everybody that was being recognized. And I was like, this is bananas. Like these are all the largest brands that I've ever looked up to. And these women are top C-suite in the country. And I am one of them. And this is bananas. And I ugly cried. I hugged so many women. After that though, I feel like I'm not going to lie, that was a big, big confidence boost because holding that title allowed me to it opened up so many doors for me. I
Yes.
mean, when I LinkedIn somebody, they're not thinking twice, right? So I
Exactly.
urge you to keep applying because for 3 years it was a no. Like I was like, oh, why should I apply for this again? I'm getting no. If you're listening to this and you're applying for things and you're not getting them, keep applying because
Keep
one
going.
year it could be your year.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, why not you? I think that's
Yeah.
what people have to understand. Why wouldn't it be
Mhm.
you? Keep at it, keep at it. I love that advice.
Don't let your mind stop you
Mm.
because it's a possible.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, very possible. I love this. This is so inspiring. And so what are your long-term goals for Total Mom Inc. and all of your other ventures? Are there any upcoming things,
Oh
projects,
gosh,
anything coming in?
there's so much going on. I
Yeah.
think right now I'm really focusing on my agency. I think, these properties like Canada's Total Mom Pitch and CWE Gala and these self-made breakfasts, like all of these different events and things, they're becoming a little baby of mine that, our team really gets to like grow. And so, yeah, I'm going to be focusing a lot more on the agency side of things. I almost found a new CEO earlier this year who yeah, would have been way too expensive for me to handle, but it was a cool conversation. I was like fangirling. I was like, wait, you might be our CEO. But I think like we're really focusing on growing multi-city tours, right? I think whether
Right.
it's the Total Mom Show all across Canada or the Self-Made Breakfast, it's all about going across Canada to these different regions and these different groups and supporting them across the country because we've been doing it so long online. It's now time to like hug it out, get in person, and do it like that. We also are launching an ed tech app so that we can help entrepreneurs learn how to become a successful founder, telling your story, learning about media and branding and aligning all of those things to really connect your brand to your audience. So that's going to be a lot of work to build a business school, right? So just
Yes.
working on that.
Well, if anybody can make it happen, it's you. That's for sure. Oh
Well,
my goodness.
I
Yeah.
need people. If you're really good at digital marketing,
There
call
you go.
me.
Okay, look, somebody watching might even get a job out of this.
Yes,
That's amazing.
that's right. Digital
Oh my
marketers, call me.
yes. Oh, they're in demand, aren't they? Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if you could give one piece of advice to small business owners who are watching right now and looking to scale, maybe not scale to the point where you're at right now, but scale their business or achieve that work-life balance, what would it be?
Yeah.
You've given us some great advice already, but what else comes to mind?
Advice on what exactly? Let's unpack this.
Scaling the business, let's
Scaling.
start with
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Automations,
Yeah.
AI, technology, software. This is the rise of technology and AI. I mean, if you haven't gone past Chat GPT, we need to talk. Like,
Okay.
there are so many things. Where is my phone? Let me see. Do you have my phone? Here, let's see. My team's giving me my phone here. I took a screenshot the other day of this and it was so inspiring. It was a list of 28 different days that you can take and learn a new AI platform. And it's like ChatGPT, Grammarly, Midjourney,
Oh,
GitHub,
wow.
WordTune, ClickUp, Pixlr, Speechify, Amazon Alexa, Assembly AI. You know what I use? Perplexity.ai.
They're
I
making
will
it now.
literally write anything in there. Like I can go in there and go, okay, I'm having a call with Canadian Tire. What is Canadian Tire focuses for the year? What are they contributing towards? And it'll literally be like, oh, Anna, this is what it is. Also, this is who you should speak to. Like, if you're not tapping into the AI,
Yeah.
then you're gonna still be
Yeah.
doing a lot more work, but also
Yeah.
just like understanding the benefits and the cons to it.
Yeah.
AI, when you're using AI, you just also need to understand safe practices in terms of what you're uploading into an open web, and also what you're saying, because you don't want your business strategy to be out there and recycled to somebody else.
Oh, that's a
So keep
great
that in
point.
mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
try
Yeah.
not to put too much of my ideas on there. We are very blue ocean at Total Mom and SCA. Like we try to recreate the wheel and do something new. So that's important to us. So we wouldn't be putting that into AI because then someone else might get those ideas. And then we're just kind of all doing the same thing.
That's
So it's a
amazing.
nice
Oh,
foundation. Nice foundation.
yes. Oh, sounds like it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting some in real time here, some audience Q&A.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. I love
So
Q&As.
yeah,
I love Q&As.
love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone has asked, these are all anonymous. You specialize in digital content creation. What strategies do you recommend for small businesses to effectively use digital content to reach their target audience?
So social media obviously is what like everybody's using, but it's a monster, and it's a lot of people feel discouraged to get on social media because it's become this like machine where you need like to know so much and the algorithm is there and all that. I think even remembering that YouTube is just a platform, a number one search engine that people can just put a video. So I think like small business owners can one work on a founder story, some sort of
Okay.
video that really showcases who you are, what your business does, maybe a behind the scenes, like say you are a tofu maker, show your manufacturing facility, show you making the tofu, show you showing
Right.
up to Metro, like showing your tofu in the stands, like open up your life to the audience and show
Mm,
people who you are and what you're going through. Another piece is having the right kits, like press kits, media kits, digital assets, you may not be a social media queen, but when you're dealing with trying to make partnerships or even connect with your community, you should have high quality imagery and high quality stuff. And that doesn't necessarily you don't need to spend thousands of dollars on it. You just need some really good lighting, and you just need your laptop and your camera. I think even a good iPhone does it these days.
It
You
does. It does.
just
You're
need
right.
to you need to think about, why do you fall in love with another business, right? What made you fall in love with a business? Was it a moment? Was it a story? Was it like you identified with it? Like, I think it's just time to make content, and it doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be edited epically. Some people are huge online from just showing up in their living room. So don't
Yep.
fall into the trap of like a Hollywood production. Just start
Right.
recording.
Yeah. Yeah. Love that advice. Very
And
unintimidating.
start growing some sort of newsletter or database outside of social media. Please, please, please don't fall the
Yes.
trap of building out your followers on a platform, and then that platform is just a platform you're renting from someone. I mean, at the end of the day, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, everybody, TikToks, like, they can pull you off at any point. They can
They
disable
can.
your account. They can do
They
anything.
can.
If
And they
if
are.
you're
What a
not saving
strange.
your database, right? And that's
You're
why
right.
constant contact, all these things,
Yeah.
you
Yes.
gotta build it out.
Yes, we need to diversify, we need to build it out, as you say, and
Mhm.
especially right
Mhm.
now. It's such changing times. I mean, who knows, one or
Mhm.
more of these platforms may just disappear at some point, who knows? So, yeah, anything can happen.
Yes,
That's me and
yes,
my tinfoil
it's
hat.
so true.
Let's hope that that doesn't happen, but I love the YouTube idea. It's very
Yeah,
accessible for everybody.
mhm,
Yeah.
that's right.
Okay, so someone else is asking about networking, that it can feel daunting for
Mhm.
small business owners. What are some actionable tips to build meaningful connections in a crowded space? Oh, yeah, it can be so hard for people.
Oh my god,
Mhm.
yes. I
Yeah.
mean, it's all about the opposite of what you think it is, right? If someone's over there making a hot dog and you don't know anyone at the networking event, just run up to them and say, "Oh my god, I love hot dogs too." I mean, I do the most awkward, silly things, but I'm just showing up myself being silly and fun, and, "Oh, like, where did you find that coffee cup?" And, "I can't find the coffee," and, like, just open up, just show up, just, "Oh, what do you do? Are you also a business owner?" Or whatever. And then a nice mix of being authentic and just showing up and being silly and having fun with insane preparation. And I
Yes.
say this
Yes.
with, like,
Yes.
total honesty. If you're gonna go to a summit, like, say, for example, Canadian SME, like, you're gonna go to something, you gotta figure out who is there, who's
Yeah.
speaking, who's got a vendor booth, and then genuinely, like, look to go to connect with them and say hello, but then also connect with the community there too, right? Like, I
Mhm.
always say to women that you never know who's gonna be the thing that gets you to the next thing. Sometimes people avoid people because they think, "Oh, I don't need anything from them." You can't
Mm,
think like that, because some of the people that I meet that can't help me know somebody that can help me, and it's like, be genuine, show up, be strategic, obviously, with your time and money and efforts, but at the same time, speak to as many people as you can. And just doesn't have to be something perfect. Just feel the room and just walk up to people, like, it's
mm.
not everyone's going to be hunky dory nice to you, but just try whatever, just show up. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, yes. No, going in knowing that, right? I guess it's just sort of having that mindset of like, not everybody's gonna love me. I'm not for everybody, but I'm gonna be
Yeah.
myself and I'm gonna put
Yeah.
myself out there.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, one last question. As your ventures grow, how do you ensure your team and your operations keep pace with the increased demands while maintaining quality and alignment with your vision? Well, there's that vision questioning.
Ooh. I mean, scaling is a scary thing.
Yeah.
I always like to say Biggie Smalls cut it down with more money, more problems.
Yes.
Um, it is like, I should have a tattoo of that, because it's actually, it's true. As you scale, you have so much more to do, and there's demands and things like that. I think, like I said, proper resource allocation, proper delegation, and the use of technology and AI should really be that solution for most people. But I think it really boils down to, do you want to be a unicorn? Do you want to be a camel? Like, what is it that you want? Because a lot of people get into this game and they think they want to be the next biggest brand in the world, and then they become one and they hate it. And some
Mhm.
people, not wild success isn't for everyone, and some people might want to stay small and do it right. So scaling is personal, but scaling will always involve more. And Proper resource allocation is the key. And sometimes, you realize as you're scaling that like proper financial management and proper projections is that moment that you need to have. You need to stop for a second and look at the numbers and say, cool, I want to do a multi-city tour. I want to have the Total Mom Show everywhere. But is that financially feasible? And how much do I need to get there? And then how much am I going to actually profit? Because I think what happens is women will go into business and then 6, 7 years later, they go, I don't think I've profited anything. And we need
Yeah.
to really realize like, is it a hobby? Is it a business? Because a real business makes money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it doesn't happen overnight and it takes a long time. But financial modeling should help you see if you're making money. And sometimes it's okay to pull other people in and say, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Can you help me?
Yeah. Yeah. Asking for help.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
again, obvious, but not something that
Yeah.
everybody does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Wonderful. Well, I
You
could
don't know
talk to
what
you
you
all
don't
day.
know.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. It's true. And this is why we connect with others. That's, I'm sure, one of the big reasons we do network and we reach out to others.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I want to thank you so much, Anna, for sharing your incredible journey, your valuable insights.
Thank
Your
you.
story is just amazing and truly inspiring. And I
Thank
know our
you.
audience of small business owners has gained a lot from your generous sharing of your experience today.
Thank you.
Yes, very, very thankful you're here. It is remarkable just how dedicated you are to empowering women entrepreneurs and creating meaningful change. So we are grateful for the time and the wisdom you've shared. Thank you again for being such an inspiring guest on Canada Business Talks. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. And I want to thank our sponsors as well, RBC, UPS, as well. Oh, hold on. There's even more I want to thank. Our exclusive email partner, Constant Contact, our exclusive hospitality partner, IHG Business Edge, and our tech partner, Google. Now, I want to shine a spotlight on Canada's small businesses here. I want to share info on our next event. Small businesses are the backbone of our economy, and we're thrilled to support the Canadian SME Small Business Awards 2024, recognizing their outstanding contributions. The Canadian SME Small Business Awards are designed to honor and showcase the ingenuity, resilience, and success of entrepreneurs and small business owners who are the backbone of our economy. So this year, businesses are with up to 500 employees can apply in up to 5 categories, each offering a unique opportunity for recognition. And nominations are open for the next couple of weeks anyway, until December 5th, 2024. So do not miss this opportunity to celebrate your business or nominate an inspiring entrepreneur that you admire. You can visit smeawards.ca. I want to thank everyone for joining us and tuning in to today's episode of Canada Business Talks. We are so grateful to have you as part of this journey and to empower and inspire small business owners across the country. Hearing stories like Anna's not only inspire me, but remind us of the power of resilience, innovation, and community in building successful businesses and creating meaningful change. We hope you found her insights as valuable and inspiring as we did. Your continued support fuels these conversations, and we're excited to bring you more impactful stories from trailblazing entrepreneurs. Thanks for being with us again today, and we look forward to seeing you at the next Canada Business Talks. Stay inspired and keep chasing your dreams and invest in you. I'm Alyssa Lansdale. We'll see you next time.